Okay, this is a second video to the installation of the remote door popper kit. The one I have is Enzor EZ-400, and that basically comes with this transmitter, a bunch of wires, emergency button, two solenoids like this, two relays, pushers to pop the doors out, and so I'm going to show you in a little more detail how to hook all this up, because the last video I did was a little bit confusing and it was kind of quick and brief. So this transmitter has an antenna wire. It has two connectors in here. One has 4 wires, the other one has 2 wires. Let me see if I can show you right there. So these 4 and this 2. I'm not using these 2 because, well, let me start over here. So we have the red one, which is the power, then we have the ground, which is black, and then we have blue and green, and then green and blue. So these are for 4 door poppers. So 4 solenoids like this. On the pickup that I have, I got only 2 doors, so I'm only using 2. If you have a 4-door car, you can use all 4. So the red wire, I have it hooked up to one of these fused wire pieces, and I have one of these connectors that will very easily plug into the fuse box. And then the black is the ground, so you just use a screw and attach it to the body. And then the green and the blue wire, they are going to the poppers. Now these are not 12 volt wires. It actually transmits a negative pulse to these relays, which then turn the power, or the 12 volt, on to these solenoids. So it's very simple. There's a positive, negative, and then the 2 wires for each of the doors. And so let me show you. I drew it out on a piece of paper, and I'll attach a PDF to this under the video. A link to a PDF you can download so you can actually look at this up close. Let's see there, if you can see that. So basically what we have, and I don't have the camera that close to this piece of paper, but basically what we have, I'm actually not going to use this, I'm going to show you on here. So each of the relays have 5 wires. So the blue wire that's coming from the transmitter, it's going to attach to the white wire on the relay, and that's let me see if I can tell. White wire is, I think it's supposed to be 87. I'm not sure what that is called, but anyway, it's a white wire. So what that does is it then will switch on the power, which will come from the blue wire and the black wire. They're connected together. So both of them will actually go and plug into the fuse box, into the 12 volt output in the fuse box. Or you can run this all the way to the battery if you want. So both relays I have wired to the same wire, to the power wire, and that's the blue and the black. So they're connected together. And then the yellow wire from each of the relays actually goes out to the solenoid. So that's the 12 volts going to the solenoid. The solenoid will attach to the body, which is where it's going to get its ground. And so there's only one input on the back of it for the 12 volt. And then the red wire on the relay we're not using, so it's just cut off. So very simple. Negative pulse into the relay through the white wire, which then turns on the power that's coming from the blue and the black and points it out the yellow wire. Same thing on the second relay, exactly the same, and that will work for the green wire. So it's very simple once you have it figured out. There's nothing hard about it. There's also on the transmitter, there's the little jumpers. There's 4 of them, each for each of the outputs. Not sure exactly which one's which. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which of these wires is considered 1, 2, or 3, or 4. But anyway, these jumpers, they have 3 positions. If you put it all the way to the left, which is a plus setting, I guess it says here, that will be the timed pulse. So when you press the button, it will turn the pulse on for a predetermined amount of time, and then it'll let go. And that time is adjusted by the little adjuster right there between the 2 connectors. You can use a screwdriver to adjust that. So, and then the middle position of the jumper is on-off. So that's when you press a button, it turns it on. You press it again, turn it off. The all the way to the right setting is on demand. So when you press it, as long as the button is pressed, it'll turn it on, and then when you let go, it lets go. So I have all of mine set to all the way to the right, so it's on demand. When you press the button, it's on. When you let go, it's off. The way I have my emergency button set up is I have it hooked up directly to the wire that is coming out of the relay to go to the driver's side door. And then I just have it spliced right into the same 12-volt wire, and it basically goes from the battery into the button and out of the button into the 12-volt wire that goes to the solenoid. So it's basically a direct 12-volt line to the solenoid with a button in between. So it's off when the button is not pressed, and you press it, it turns on. Let's see what else. All the connections, the positive, the red wire that goes, that has the 12 volts going to the transmitter, as well as the one that goes to the relays, they both plug into the fuse box. The fuse box on the S10 at least has a place there where you can get 12 volts, constant 12 volts out of. So it's not switched, it's always on. So you can pull that from there. Otherwise, if you don't have that, you can just run this all the way to the battery. That's about it. It's very simple. Leave me comments below if you have any other questions. But I think that's pretty much it. I'll recreate this in a little bit easier to understand schematic, and I'll add a link to the PDF for it so you can download it. That's about it. Thanks for watching.